خلاص. Very simple, very useful. From today, you will start using it. You will always try using it. Arrays are good. However, arrays are يعني شوي بدهم a lot of details, plumbing details, يعني we call it. And if you search, you always need to go inside the loop. You always need to do from 1 to 3. Or what is the major problem of arrays? Array size, once your program starts, cannot change. صح ولا لا? Once your program starts, array size cannot change. So, okay, we can provide you with another class that is very, very useful, very simple to use, called ArrayList. ArrayList also has a lot of methods that makes organizing code and adding and removing from the list very easy. ArrayList also, one major advantage of ArrayList is what? Can what? Dynamically change its size. If you studied vector in C++, you saw vector size is not a problem. ArrayLists, they have so many things, and much important, much better than vectors. Don't worry about vectors. Let us see the first example here. With ArrayList, you can add, you can clear all the items with what? These are methods, ya shabab. You can check if the array contains an element with one method. No need to go for a loop. You can get one element. You can find the index of one element. You can remove an element. You can see the size of the array list. Even you can trim it. Trim it means what? If the array list is half empty, you can trim it to save a lot of memory. It's very dynamic, very easy to use. Let me show you the first example here. Look at this, ya shabab. Array list cannot be used for primitive data types. Array list can be used for objects. However, there is a workaround when you need to use primitive data types with arrays, with array lists. Here we have an array list of what? Of string. This is how, first you need to use the what? Import the util Java. Second, this is the array list string. This is the type of the items in the array list. This is the name of the array list, a new array list, and string. This is the syntax. We have no control in the syntax. Now look at the code here. Items.add. Red. Why red? Because we have strings in the array list. Later we'll make circles and objects. This one will add the string red at the current location. In the beginning, the array list will be initialized always to capacity of what, ya shabab? What is the initial capacity of the array list? 10. The good thing in the array list, you can add or remove or delete or change the size. Type. Now the array list will add red. There is another add method in the array list where you add and you decide which location to put the item. So now with array list, you put it at location 0. If you put yellow at location 0, what's going to happen to red? In arrays, this needs a lot of loops, ya shabab. In array list, yellow will be 0 and red will be moved to location what? 1. Does that make sense? Did you get this? To go in a for loop in an array list, we use items.size, not length like arrays. And we use get I, not items I. If it's an array list, we use get I. Tamam? This is how you work basic things with array list. Let me start the first example with you. Okay, with the example, you're going to get the, okay, wait a few minutes. If you don't understand the example, then we can, okay, here. I will first create an array list of names, ya shabab. Okay, here. Okay, come on. Array list, I imported the, of what? Of string. What is the name? Names equals new array list. Capital array list string. That's it. Alas. What is the size of the array list now? Yalla Ruli. this out. Names dot size. Now you're going to get 0 because no items inside it. You need to differentiate between size and capacity. Yeah, Qais. You need to differentiate between size and capacity. Size currently, how many elements in it? Tamam? Okay. Size, capacity is 10, but the current size is 0. صح ولا لا؟ There are indexes, but wait. مين اللي معي؟ Yaman, Qais. Wait. Now the size is 0. Let me just add this message because I need to do a lot of things. Size, okay, plus names.size. Now size is 0. Okay. Let's see how to add names. Names.add Qais. So now Qais will be at the first element of the list. Since no elements were before Qais, if you want to see this, we can output the size now. ما كان في شيء. Now size is what? 1. I will add also Yaman here. Names dot add Yaman. Tamam. Now what is going to be the size? The size is going to be 2. Of course, 0 and 1. Tamam. I will also add Isa. Names dot add Isa. Okay, 3. If you want to loop in the array list, I'll show you the 2 loops. This is the classic for loop. I is less than names dot what, ya shabab? Not link now. What? Size. I plus plus. You can say sys out names dot get I. Names dot get I first time. Get 0 will give you the first element. Get 1, get 2, get 3. Let me run this now. So we have Qais, Yaman, Isa. كويس يا اخوان؟ Yeah. We don't care about capacity يا جاد المولى. We don't care about capacity. What we care about is size. You don't have to worry about these details now with the array list. Okay? طيب wait. عندنا Khalid said I want you. Okay, now here we will also خلينا قبل خالد وقصص خالد. Let me use enhanced for loop also. For string. You can use name. What is the array list name? Names. خلاص, now we can say sys out. Sorry. Sys out. Name. Okay, let me run it now here. Error. I need to close the function here. Right. So now I did output the names using either the classic for loop or the right. Now Khalid says, okay, I need you to add me to the list, but I want to be the first one in the list. Either first or never. Right. How to add Khalid? Names dot add names dot what to do يا شباب يلا قولوا لي names dot add 0 add Khalid. Does that make sense now? So now Khalid was added at location what? At location 0. Khalid was added at location 0. What about Qais and Yaman? Qais and Yaman جماعة طيبين لكن ايش؟ Khalid ايش؟ Did it okay. Now you see Khalid is the first one, then Qais, Yaman, Isa. Tamam? Then the guy said you either remove Khalid or remove all of us. Now how to remove Khalid? Easy, you can say names.remove 0. Names.remove 0. Yes. We removed Khalid here. Yani, if you don't believe that we removed Khalid, I'll just output the size now after we remove Khalid. So we removed Khalid by his index. تمام. See, now it's 3, huh? Don't worry, I did not print it again. Can we remove Khalid by his name? Yeah, you can do that. That's fine. Just remove Khalid now here. So we removed Khalid here by his name. So I showed you how to add an item and add an item at a certain location, remove an item by its index, or remove an item by its name. Now if you output it, خلاص يعني the same thing. Now Khalid came back, said, okay, just put me second one, no problem. I will put him second. So now now Khalid is in the list, but Khalid now is the second after Qais. Good. So now we have Qais and then we have Khalid in the list. Does that make sense? ماشي الحال. تمام؟ طيب. Then مين عنا؟ Khalid, Yaman said, you put me instead of Khalid. And move Khalid back, remove him, just put me in his place. That's fine, but what about Khalid? He said it doesn't matter. يعني what I want to say now, you can replace. If you remove the index, you are removing the item. You are removing the item. There is no replace يا أبو جبل here. There is set. We have here مين عنا؟ خلينا ناخذ اسم جديد. Ahmed came here and said, put me in the place where Isa is. Put me in the place where Isa is. Put me. يعني instead of Isa, يعني remove Isa. In this case يا شباب, we use names dot set. Set Isa كم اللوكيشن تبعه؟ 3. Okay. Names dot set 3 أحمد. إيش يعني set? Set يعني remove what is at index 3 and put what in it? Ahmed. Let me output it now here. So now Isa will be removed and Ahmed now is instead of Isa. Set the location of Isa. تمام? This is if you want to push Isa to the end and put Ahmed, that is add. Now Khalid will be added at location 3 وعيسى المسكين is going to be at the last location. Does that make sense? Huh?
دكتور الست نستخدم لما يكون الايتم already موجود.
يعني remove the current and put this instead of it.
بس لازم الايتم يكون موجود ولا ما؟
Yeah. There are other exceptions. We'll talk about them.
Okay.
Now, set. Okay. Now, I showed you how to add and hide. Let me go back to one important thing also. Can we do this by names not in the index? Yes, we can. But we need to show some important things now here. Let us say now, sys out. Okay. Guys. Sys out. شوفوا معي. Names dot index of guys. So now what will be printed? The index of what? Price. 0. طيب, what about the index of, let me just use any other name here. Ahmed. Ahmed is 3. طيب, what about the index of Ali? What are you going to get يا شباب? Index of Ali. Ali is not in the list. Usually in all programs. لا مش exception يا صديقي. مش exception. Usually or ArrayList or search. لا. You need to know this from all programming languages. If you look for an index and that thing is not in the list, you get -1. I don't think this is new to you, but now we need to know it, huh? If you search for something in the list and it's not in the list, so you know it's -1. That's why later you will use if index is greater than 0 or equal to 0. ايش يعني if index is greater than or equal to 0? يعني if the item is available in the list. That's how you check يا صديقي اللي سألوني قبل شوي. You asked me how to check. That's how you check for the existence of a certain item if you want to check before. طيب. So now you know about index now. Let me show you index here of Isa. Isa is going to be index what? For example, 4, right? Isa's index 4. طيب. We have here, we have Ammar. Ammar said, I want you to put me instead of Isa. طيب. I can say names dot set for Ammar. But this is not very professional because I typed the location of Isa manually. تمام؟ يعني if I go and print the names now here, okay? If I print the names now, Ammar is in the location of what? Of Isa.
Instead of 4, you can write names
Yes,
dot index of Isa. Okay.
Now, okay, Isa said, I want you to be placed instead of Khalid. It's easy. شوفوا how we're going to do it. Either you do it in 2 steps, integer index names dot index of Khalid, تمام? And then you'd say what? Names dot set index is equal to Isa. This way, wherever Khalid is, Isa will be. طبعا you can do if statement يا شباب here. You can do if statement to make sure it's available. Huh? If index is greater than or equal to 0. Okay? Here ايش عملت انا والله؟ انا كتبت خالد غلط ولا خالد removed كان already؟ ها؟
Doctor, you need to put I, Khalid with I.
Khalid with I. So it was in, see, I tried to put Khalid at -1. Okay, and this is another index. Okay. Now, Ammar شو طلع معنا؟ خالد حطينا nothing. طيب يلا. هو خالد. Okay, now Ammar instead of Khalid. You can do this in one step هيك عقابا لخالد. Okay. Or let us put myself instead of Yaman. How I'm gonna do it? Names dot set names dot index of who? Yaman. Okay. Put Ziad. You get this, ya shabab, in one step. Does that make sense? Migos. You get that? Index of Yaman. Put Ziad. Now you'll see Ziad in the index of sorry, in the index of Yaman.
عندي سؤال names dot set index يمثل أي index؟
وين؟ Here. This is the index here. Names index.
integer. اوكي سو اوكي تمام.
تمام. Okay. What if Yaman is 9 minus 1? You saw the error, صح? You saw the error. You saw the error, huh? صح? Abdu. You saw what happens if the index is minus, some error, error. You want to place it in a certain place and the place does not exist, you can do something else. Name set. والله ما بعرف if you can do this. Abu Jabal, I don't know if you can do this يعني. But let us, okay, one more thing. خليني أجاوب على السؤال الأول أبو جبل. Let's go back here to see if someone is in the list. This is the professional way to do it. You can say names contains Isa. Okay? Name contains Isa. شو يعني name contains Isa? Contains, you're gonna get true or false. And to avoid many of your questions, now I showed you how to do things only if the thing is in the list. Okay? هلا names contains Isa. Names contains Messi. The first one is gonna be false, and the second one is gonna be what? True. So now we can ask the user, what is the name you're looking for? Isa. If names contains Isa, you do whatever you want. Does that make sense? I try to avoid this question in the beginning. But now you can use contains, which is very, 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 very useful. Does that make sense? You saw the most useful things with array lists. You saw add a certain location, remove by index, remove by contents. You saw set by index. You saw how to search for an index of something. And if it's not there, you're going to get -1. You saw how to see contains or not. These basic things, ya shabab, you can do a lot of this. I just need 2 minutes of your time. I promise 2 minutes. Array list example. I made an array list of what here? Of what? Of names. Type, remove. Can I make an array list of cars or rectangles? Yes, and that's why you are studying array list. خلاص بس هاي هي. Car. Car list equals new array list. You remember when I taught you arrays, then I said array of object. Anything you did with the car, now خلاص. Car C1 equals new car. تمام. BMW. تمام. Okay. 2010, 2020, and this is the price of it. You want to add it to the array list? Yes, على طول. Car list. تمام. Dot add C1. Any problem? Any problem so far? It's an array list of cars, array list of persons, array list of accounts. تمام. يلا عمل كمان 2 3 هيك. انا راح اعمل بسرعه. car C2. Okay. And C3. Okay. Taj. I don't think I like Taj. Okay. And this is the price. And here, this is your Ford. Okay. Just, okay. Now we have 2034. Okay. Whatever numbers. Now we are adding car, add C1, add C2, add C3. يلا, how to output the code بسرعة. يلا, enhanced for loop. يلا, for what? Car. Inside the list. What is the list name? Yeah, car list. Then you can sys out. They have a nice function called get car details. Let us output this. Yalla. Okay, the 3 cars. Ija Khalid, he said, I want to buy the most expensive car in this store. I don't care about money. The only thing I have is money, actually. طيب, how to find the most expensive car now? We can search the list, صح? I can say, I created a function in the previous car. I don't know what Alibaba is, but يعني حرامي يعني ما بعرف. طيب, I created a function to call. Look at it يا شباب. Get highest price. Array list. Array list of what? Look at this. Array list of what? Cars. This function will search and find the maximum price and return the maximum price. I taught you many ways how to do the maximum and minimum for such a rainy day. صح ولا لا? Right? So now let us print the highest, most expensive car. Sys out, ya Khalid. Most expensive car. Okay. For price plus ايش تسمينا الفانكشن get highest price and I will send the car list to it. بس خلاص. So now we will call the function with the array list. It will search for the price and return the maximum price. So far so good.